All right. So this is going to, I know we're starting 2 minutes early. It's okay. This is going to be an open forum. So anything you guys got or need help with, let me know. Fire away. Who's first? Neither of y'all got any questions?
I want to say, so I have a property not under contract. Sorry, I'm talking to a realtor, and then she was gonna represent me as the buyer, and she sent me a contract to sign. It's a disclosure between me and the buyer. I want to make. I mean, I talked to my other wholesaler who wholesales out here, and he said just sign it, it's fine. But I just wanted to make sure that, you know, let's say I wanted to cancel the contract. I have like an 8-day contingency on it. Can I cancel it 8 days before without having any issues?
Yeah. So
Like before
when you say you have an 8-day contingency, are you talking about on the contract for the purchase agreement, or are you talking about with the real estate agent?
So it's on the contract with the real estate agent if the seller accepts it. It's an 8-day contingency. So I'll have they give me 8 days to inspect the property and stuff like that. So I just wanted to make sure that let's say I can't find a buyer or whatever the case is, nobody wants it, I can cancel it as long as it's before that 8 days.
As long as it's before the end of the 8th day. But here's what you should probably do. Tell them, do they have it as calendar days or business days?
I think it goes off business. I haven't sent over the signed contract. She sent it to me today. I haven't signed it yet. I just wanted to make sure I was just going through it. But it just said 8 days. I can go over it right now and tell you exactly what it says.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. If it's just 8 calendar days, that's a little short, but it's okay. If it does not say business days, then I would say, hey, can you change the 8 days to just 7 business days? Because that'll give you 2 weeks to find a buyer, and instead of 8 normal, consecutive days. That's the only thing that I would do. As far as to answer your original question, yeah. If your inspection is 8 days, then as long as you back out before 5 o'clock on the 8th day, you're good.
Okay, so I'll just make sure with her. Okay, cool. Yeah, because the seller hasn't accepted the offer yet, so it's the offer's on the table. So she's representing me as a buyer, and she's representing the seller as well.
How much is she charging you, and did you run that through the calculator?
I have to double check because I've been just kind of all over the place, so I forgot exactly what it was. But forgot. I'm trying to find the contract, but I will let you know as soon as I get that.
Okay. Yeah, that's the only other thing is make sure that whatever fee that she's going to charge you isn't going to kill your entry fee percentage or cash on cash return.
Okay, got you. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and check that out real quick, but anybody else can go besides me. Thank you, though.
No worries. Anybody else have a question? What's up, Tim? How's it going, man? Connor, how's it going?
Yo, hello.
All right. This is an open forum training, guys. So I'm here as long as you guys have questions. I get it. It's Friday. I didn't expect this to be a very big training anyway. It usually isn't on Fridays. But if you guys don't have any questions, then you guys can get back to sending offers out. That's way more important than you guys just sitting here. I mean, we can chat a little bit, but that would still be a waste of time, even on a Friday. Tim was like, yeah, I'll send out offers. All right. Well, if nobody has any other questions. Oh, what's up, Connor?
I was just trying to write down these notes I had. So I've been working with this realtor, and he got me this off-market property that looks to be pretty good. Not completely turnkey, but obviously it's renovated, so it's pretty solid. Okay. I ran the comps and followed your whole series on the off market, just because this is my first off market.
Oh, it's off market. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So the comps are around 200 to 240, and the realtor's asking price, he said, is 180. So I think the owner though is a flipper, because
wait, hold on 1 second, just before you dive too much into it. I want to clarify: is it on market?
No, it's off market.
Why is there a realtor involved?
Because he said he has pocket listings.
Oh, they say okay, bet. Okay, keep going.
So anyway, the owner is a flipper, I think, because like I looked at like the county website and it just like had like the LLC in there. So I'm assuming like he probably just like fixed it and then just like tried to get maybe out of it. But I really haven't like reached out to the realtor specifically on the property, but because like I wanted to like throw in an initial offer, but I was wondering like, do you think I have to be like 20-30% less than that 180 mark, even though the comps are like 200 to 240?
Well, hold on, like we can do simple right here. So off market ARV, I'll max it out for the example, but
Okay.
I would probably do 220. Like that's a big ass gap, $40,000.
And not that this is relevant, not to interrupt, but the Zestimate and like Redfin estimate is like 237 and 242. I don't really think that matters too much, but
No,
just to give
I
you
mean it's close. I mean they're getting a lot better, but you still want to always double check your own
right.
numbers. How much rehab does it need?
Let me see what he specifically said. I can just tell you the description. I don't
Yeah,
think
go for it.
much rehab. Charming ranch style home with a basement featuring 3 spacious bedrooms, 2 full bathrooms. Enjoy cozy warmth of wood burning furnaces on both the main level and basement. The property was recently undergone important structural updates, including the installation of 7 steel L beams to address a bowed basement wall approximately 3/4 inward, backed by lifetime transferable warranty. For added peace of mind, the basement also includes a freshly updated bathroom and a new vanity and sink. The HVAC system has recently been serviced. The AC unit was newly replaced. The home is freshly vacated and ready for its next chapter.
Okay, so um they didn't mention anything about redoing the floors, the bathroom, the upstairs
Right.
bathrooms, the kitchen. What do they look like? Have they been flipped?
I mean, I only have like I literally just have the photo of like the front of the house, and the front of the house looks nice. I mean, just like the advertisement on like his like email pocket listings is flip investment opportunity. Here's a 3-2 single family home with plenty of space to add a bedroom or finish out the basement and for some value.
Okay, so the
Hmm.
first thing that I would do if I were you is I would call the realtor
Okay.
and I would say, "Hey, I'm trying to build my offer, but I need to see what the place looks like. You got to send me some photos." Because and this is going to be predicated on who you're trying to sell this deal to. So keep that in mind. You
Right.
have two options because it's off market. You can either sell it to a buy and hold or you can sell it to a fix and flip depending on how cheap you get it or what kind of deal. Are they interested in creative at all?
Um, I don't believe so. So this would have to be cash. So I'm assuming this is like a you know, cash deal here because I always like usually hit him up for like creative and I'm just like, hey, anything you get that like they're open to creative financing or like balloon terms, just like please shoot me an email. And he hasn't shot me an email. He just will like I'm on his like like weekly kind of like pocket listings advertisement. So I'm assuming this has just got to be like an investor's got to come in here with cash offer. So
All right. All right. So then, I mean, let's put it this way. Let's say the ARV is 240,
okay.
and let's say it needs $20,000 worth of work. I'm just throwing that out there for
Sure.
example.
Sure.
Your max allowable offer is 126 if you want to
Oof.
make 10 grand.
What about so if to make 5 grand, it would be 131.
Yeah.
See that I think is actually like legit. 126 is like,
Well,
that's
hold
really
on.
pushing
Um,
it.
this is run for my team. Hold on. So my team is put on stricter SOPs than everybody else. So technically 143 if
Okay.
you're running it at 70%. Now again, this is assuming it needs 20 grand worth of work. What's the square footage?
The square foot is 1370.
1370. Okay, so you can say he's an LLC. Maybe you put a little bit of money into it, even though they didn't mention that. Let's say it needs $35 a square foot. That's $47,000
Yeah.
in rehab. Now, that's if you're going to try and sell it to a fix and flip. Because you got to remember, a fix and flip, they want to sell it for that ARV. So they're gonna put whatever rehab needs to be put into it in order to get that price. Now, buy and hold, I don't think a buy and hold is going to pay 180,000. I mean, what does it rent for?
Let me see. He has those statistics. Over the past 12 months, Let's see. Oh, he just kind of has like the county voucher. Let me see if I can find the rent on.
Okay.
How would I look for that here? Just like
Um,
estimate.
Yeah, you can go to
Oh, rental estimate 1692.
how much?
1692.
All right.
But that's just Redfin's estimate. I don't really know if that's factual.
I can work off that for right now. I mean, you need to verify it, but I'll work off that right
Right.
now.
I'll write that down. So just like before we continue, just some questions I need to confirm with him. Obviously, is like the photos to like confirm the like how quality the interior is, and then I need to ask obviously for the rent.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, if he's been renting it out, if he's got a rent roll, that'd even be better. But if he just bought it and he's like trying to flip it after fixing the basement, he probably doesn't have any rental history. You just need to check like Renometer or Home Ads or something like that. But here are the numbers for someone who was going to do a fix and flip on it. They'd be paying a total of $185,000, including your $5,000 assignment fee. Again, I'm estimating 20 grand for the rehab, and then their closing cost is going to be about 3,700. So they're all in is 208. And if they use cash, they're only going to be making $24,000. And if they use private money, they're only going to be making 11,500. So you would probably have to get this. Yeah, actually, right where we said, maybe 140.
Right,
If you
and
did
5,000 is just, I
140,000.
mean, that's perfect for me. I don't need 10, 20. I get it. Everyone wants to make that money, but it's like, that's perfect.
Now, this would sell all day long. If you got this under contract, even if they used a hard money or private money lender, after they paid them off, they clear $54,000 on a $145,000 purchase price. Yeah, that they would do.
Sweet. And just to let you know, this is in one of my like main markets of Columbus. So if I do need a buyer, I saw you were out there too. I mean, I have a couple investors, but I'm just saying, like, if it comes down to it, you think you could maybe potentially help me out by any chance?
Absolutely. Yeah. So the way
Awesome.
that we typically do it, it's a 60-40 split, but you are absolutely allowed to dispo the deal while we are. And if you find a buyer before us, okay, good job. Like, good, keep your money. And then we're kind of running in the background. So if your buyers don't take it, instead of us starting from the time that you realize that, we're starting from the beginning. We're just running right along next to you.
I see. So you're like, you're the safety net essentially.
Pretty much. Now, with that being said, the reverse is also true. If you've got a buyer like, oh, I got a buyer that's interested, and we've got a buyer that's about to sign the assignment contract, we're moving forward with ours. Unless your buyer is going to offer significantly more than our buyer, then we'll wait. We'll stall.
Gotcha. I appreciate you letting me know. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely gonna get some more info, and then I'll just shoot you a message whether or not
All right, and then find out the taxes and the insurance for
taxes and
one as well.
insurance. Okay.
Yeah, because then I can tell you how to work as a creative deal, not a creative deal. I'm sorry, as a cash deal for a buy and hold investor.
Thank you.
No problem. All right.
Buy and hold investors don't really care for ARV, huh?
Not really. I mean, it has to be within reason. It has to make sense. Like if the property, if the ARV is 120, they're not going to pay 200,000 for that property. They're not going to.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Close to it.
Yeah, it's got to make sense. If it now hold on. Obviously, there's caveats to everything. If for whatever reason you get, a higher purchase price on a creative deal, but it's like a super long-term balloon and no money down and good cash on cash return, then they'll probably look at that a little different.
Okay.
So it's like the police. It all depends on the circumstances on what you can do.
Okay. Now, if it's a cash deal, it has to make sense as far as it has some equity in the property when they buy cash.
Yeah, they've got to be able to. Well, that's why if we can look at these numbers here, I mean, I don't have everything in there, obviously, but if we had these numbers here, I could tell you that if what an investor paid cash for it, what your cash on cash return, cash flow, what that would look like. So I'll tell you who was I just talking to? Who's got this deal?
It was Connor, I think. Yeah, it was
Connor.
Yeah.
When you get the information, hit me up. We'll jump on a one-on-one and I'll record it. We'll finish it. We'll
Thank
finish
you.
the that way. If you need it, great, and if anyone else needs to see it, great. It'll
Just
be
like
on
for
there.
the off-market section.
Yeah, for like when you get
Perfect.
the taxes, the insurance, what their what else did I tell you to get?
Rent roll,
Rent.
and then just like the photos, obviously.
Yeah, and then the photos. So because we're gonna need all that because the photos will help determine what the rehab is actually gonna be. And if it's super messed up on the inside, then you're probably not gonna be able to sell this to a buy and hold investor, especially cash. However, if it's not, if it's livable, if we're like, okay, we'd move our mom in there, it's not brand new, but everything works, it's clean, it's just not new, then it's looking a little bit better for a buy and hold investor, especially if you can get it for 140.
Gotcha. Okay. Are you doing the live tomorrow or Monday's the next one?
Monday's the next one.
All right, cool.
I'll be around tomorrow though. If you want to do a one-on-one,
Sounds good.
shoot me a DM. If I'm available, I'll do it.
Perfect.
Jay, that answer your question, or you want to wait until the part 2 comes out?
No, that's good. I mean, yeah, I'll watch part 2 as well.
Okay. All right, cool. Shit, maybe I'll put an announcement out tomorrow and be like, hey, does anyone need to jump on a live? Connor, if you have that information by then, just DM me, and then I'll put a message
Yep.
out. We'll just do it like this. If anyone wants to jump
I was
in,
gonna
jump
say
in.
I'll give him a call, so I'll probably have it by like the morning. It's pretty responsive.
Bet. All right, cool.
And-
And oh shit, what's up, Jordan? I didn't even see you sneak your little ass in here. What's up, man?
Nothing much. It's been a while since I've seen a training, so I was like, let me jump back in, say hello to everyone.
Did you send a contract out? Is that why you asked me that cryptic ass question?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I knew as soon as you jumped back into CRM. What kind of deal is it?
It's a seller finance deal. Cash flow is about 20%.
Oh, nice. Holy
So-
shit, that's real good.
Yeah, it's in Florida, so we see how it goes.
Oh man, good job.
Thank you, thank you.
See, my shit always works sometimes.
Yeah, you're the best coach, bro. Can't
Jordan is
complain.
another thug that's on my team. Didn't come in timid like Leo or some of the other guys. But holy shit, nobody's gonna outwork Jordan. Nobody's gonna outwork him. This is not a thing. I won't even try it. I won't even try
You're
it.
too kind.
Sending-
Thank you.
Sending out 1,000 offers a day or what?
No, he's on a CRM. He's doing some next level shit.
Oh, nice. Need to get
All
right.
that.
Who else has got a question? Anybody?
I do have a question regarding seller finance.
Go for it.
When you're working with the seller like off market and they're down to do a seller finance deal, how would you structure that? You wouldn't put it on, obviously not Deal Sniper, right?
I
You
mean,
would
I
just go
still
based off-
would. I would put it
Okay.
on Deal Sniper, but I wouldn't use Deal Sniper's offer. I would use
Deal Machine.
I would because Deal Sniper works best because things are on market. There's a purchase price. If there's no purchase price because it's not on market, then they're going to base the whole offer off like the Zestimate or some shit, which may
Right.
not reflect what the seller is actually asking for. So I'm glad you brought that up because that sounds like fun. I haven't done one in a while. Let's do one. I'm going to do one from scratch. Look, I'm just going to pick. We'll just assume the property is off market.
Okay.
You know what? Fuck it. I'll find an off market one. Yeah, I live in Arizona. We'll do Arizona. I know this area. Okay. So
It's
let's
so
go.
hot in Arizona too. My
It
God.
really is. Yeah. My AC broke one summer and it was 93 degrees in my house.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. However, my house was like a sauna. So part of me kind of enjoyed it. I'm like, all right, we'll just use it to train. It's no big deal. Let's see. I need an old, I think, yeah, it's not that old. Well, fuck it. We'll do this one. All right. So we'll just assume this is our property. This is our off-market deal.
All right.
So I'm still going to put it in a Deal Sniper because it's going to give me the taxes, the insurance, and the rent. It's just not going to give me a good purchase price. And if the purchase price isn't good, the offer isn't going to be good.
Okay.
So I'm going to put nope. Now, I would have to determine how much the seller is asking. So I'm assuming you know that already.
Right.
Okay. And then most people, they usually go off the Zestimate for a property. So
Okay.
let's do that. Let's just see what it is because I think it's different. Yeah, 375. So let's just assume their asking price is 375. Most
Okay.
people, most off market, they're going to go off this estimate anyway. So now that I know that, I'm going to go here and I'm going to put in, I want to entice them, and I know I can give them a little bit more, assuming the property is in decent shape, doesn't need a ton of work. Then I'll probably say something like, we'll do 395. So 395, we'll do 375 seller finance. We'll do $20,000 down. What does this bitch rent for? 2,400? I'll do 2,400. Okay. Taxes and insurance. 1592, 1575. Okay, and then how much are we giving them? $1,000. Okay.
19,
I mean, that's a damn good fucking deal right there.
Yeah, I was gonna say that looks like a solid one.
So, but here's how I explain it. Here's where, because your original question was how, if I remember, how are we building it? And you want to build it in a way that makes it a smooth for you to explain. So if it were me, right? Hold on a second. Who the fuck am I talking to?
Jay.
Jay. Okay, so I'm gonna be like this. Jay, check this out. I know you wanted 375 for your property, and I really appreciate the fact that you're looking into creative financing. Honestly, I've had a lot of success this year and the last part of last year picking up these properties because this is what my investors are looking for. So because we appreciate the fact that you're doing that, I know you're asking for 375. We're actually going to give you a full purchase price of $395,000. That extra $20,000, I'm going to give that to you cash in your pocket at closing, and I'm going to put $1,000 in your pocket the first of every month, and I can get you paid off in like 7 years. Can you make that work?
Okay.
That's how I'm delivering it.
Okay. And then what does their mortgage have to be at for you to be like, okay, we have to do a sub 2 or a wrap, or I mean a hybrid, sorry. And
well, if they have a mortgage at all, you mean the difference between a sub 2 and a hybrid? Like how to know the difference?
No, I know the difference, but it's just like, let's say, like, because like how much mortgage do they have to have for you to be like, okay, we can't do seller finance because that's too much of a mortgage or whatever?
Well, you can't do seller finance if there's a mortgage at all. You can only do a subject to or a hybrid.
Okay. And then so how would you, okay, let's say subject to, let's say if they have like $50,000. So on this scenario, let's say they have $50,000 in mortgage balance. And how much would you give them, like I guess as a down, doing a subject to?
If they were
Or actually, no, it wouldn't be a subject to, right? Because that would be like,
well, that depends on your ability.
okay.
That 100% depends on your negotiating ability. So let me start from the beginning. Otherwise, it's going to get confusing. The way to determine if I'm going to pitch a subject to or a hybrid is going to be based off of the difference between. And when I say difference, I mean subtracting. So when you take the difference between what their mortgage balance is versus how much they were trying to sell it for, that's going to tell me if they want all, some, none of their equity. That's what you need to know, because we can only give them 10% max as a down payment. So let's take it. Let's plug the exact same numbers for this deal, and let's assume they have. Give me a number for the mortgage.
55,000.
Okay, so that's immediately telling you it's going to be a hybrid. Because here's why: we can only give them 10% down max of the purchase price. So if they're selling their house for $375 and they only owe $55,000, that means they're expecting $320,000 worth of equity.
Right.
We can't give them the $320,000 worth of equity and then just take over that $55,000 mortgage. The entry fee percentage would be astronomical. It's way too high. So because of that, what you have to understand is, okay, they want their equity, they have a mortgage, so that's immediately going to be a hybrid, because the difference of what we would owe them after we take the mortgage out versus what they're selling their property for, it's too big. It's bigger than 10%. We can't go above 10%.
Okay.
Now, if they owed 300 and $20,000 on their mortgage and they're trying to sell it for $375,000, that tells me, okay, they're only trying to walk away with about $55,000. Actually, less than that if they listed with a real estate agent, because a real estate agent can take at least 3%. That's like $10,000. So they're actually trying to walk away with $45,000, not including the rest of their closing costs. So now, when I said it depends on your ability, they were planning on walking away with $55,000. They were actually going to walk away with between $40,000 and $45,000 because of their closing costs if they listed it on market. So now you just have to acknowledge that, have them acknowledge, like, you understand if you owed a mortgage, you were only going to walk away with about $355,000, right? They're going to say, oh yeah, that's right. Well, actually, it's not going to be $55,000, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, because you would have to pay your closing costs, you'd have to pay your realtor. So it'd probably be closer to like 40, 45, 46, something like that. Does that sound fair? And then you wait for their acknowledgement. Okay, now that you're on the same page and they've acknowledged what you needed them to acknowledge, now you bring in your creative offer. Okay, so then what if I just put $35,000 in your pocket and you just walk away and we call it a day? No realtor, no, I'll pay the closing costs. You don't have to worry about none of that. I'll put $35,000 cash in your pocket at closing. We'll take over the mortgage and everything else, and we're good. That's a good subject too. Now, if you can talk them down from 55 to 46 to 35, then it would work. Because now I'm within that 10%. This 10% is $37,500 in this scenario.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Because that was a lot, and I talk fast.
No, that makes sense. Okay. So it'd just be the 10% of that the purchase price.
Right.
$375. Okay.
So if they don't want their equity, or they're not asking for a lot, so let's say they owe $55,000, but they're only selling their house for $80,000. That's a subject to all day. We give them $5,000-$6,000 as a not a down payment, cash to seller. They walk away. We take over their mortgage because they're not asking for all their equity. Now I just have to talk them down the difference of what they wanted to get versus what I can give them.
Okay. And then your assignment fee would be on the down payment, right? In the subject too?
Yes, but not
okay.
You're not adding those numbers to any conversation you're having with the seller.
Right. Okay. And how would you well, I was gonna say, how would you pitch that to the buyer? But I mean, it's the calculator.
You just tell them this is the entry fee. So for this seller finance deal, this one that we put in with the 375. No, that was a fake deal. Never mind. I'm tripping. I was about to ask you questions about the deal as if it was real. So it's like this situation. If the investor wants to buy this property, the price is $405,000, and they're going to pay $38,000 to buy it. That's what they need to come to the closing table with. They don't need to know that $20,000 is going to the seller and $10,000 is going to you. The entry fee is $38,000.
Okay, that's all they need to know.
Yeah. And this
cash on cash.
is also why I say, and I always tell you guys, be honest with who you're talking to. Seller, realtor, buyer, let them know you're wholesaling the deal. Because otherwise, they're going to be like, oh, well, what is this fee that I see on here that what do you think, I work for free? Are you not getting what you said you wanted? You wanted a property to fit these numbers, you fit this buy box. It does. Are you happy with it or not? You were happy with the price, but now you find out that I'm going to be making money, so now you have an issue. So unless you don't mind having conversations like that, I live for shit like that. But if you don't want to have it, then you make sure that everyone knows that you're wholesaling. Yeah, man, there's a spread on this one. I got it locked up for a good price, so I'm trying to move it. Everybody's got to eat. You good with the price? Yeah, I'm good with it. And then you try and negotiate, and that's up to you.
Okay, that makes sense. Got you. Okay, cool. And then if when purchasing when purchasing a property from a on market, like signing a purchase agreement stuff, if it doesn't say no assignment or whatever the fact, like, you can assign a on market property if a realtor's involved, as long as it doesn't say anything about whether you can't assign it or not, something like that. I don't know if I'm wording it right at all.
No, you absolutely are. So what you're asking is, does the contract have to say it's assignable in order for you to assign it?
Right.
Technically, the answer is no. As long as it does not say this contract cannot be assigned. If it says that, you need to have that removed. If it doesn't say anything about assignments, it's just completely ambiguous to assignments, technically, yeah, you can 100% assign it because it doesn't say you can't.
Okay.
Now, if you want to
So-
cover your ass and you've again told the real estate agent that you're wholesaling the deal, and they're writing the contract, because my contracts, all our contracts say that they're assignable. But if they're using their contract, you just tell them to put, hey, can you make sure it says somewhere in the additional terms that this contract is assignable?
Okay.
And
Got
as
you.
long as they know you're wholesaling it, they should have no problem putting that in there because that's what a wholesale transaction is.
Okay, got it. And then I would just so the agent would sell the paper. I mean, so the agent will send the paperwork and contract and everything to title themselves, or I would have to send something myself as well.
If the real estate agent's involved, they're probably going to do it. Then they're probably going to do it themselves.
Okay, so how would I send? So would I send like, let's say if I find a buyer and I gotta send in my assignment contract and stuff like that, I would send that over to title
Yeah,
as well, or I send
I
that
would,
to.
once it comes down, because here's the thing, you're going to get a copy, and you can always just clear this up with the real estate agent. That's what I do. Well, I used to. My transaction coordinator does all this stuff now. But you can always just have that conversation with the real estate agent when you're about to get the contract signed. You just say, hey, you want me to take care of title and escrow opening it, or do you want to do it? Very simple question. And then they'll tell you. And you can even cut them off. Do you want, hey Jay, do you want me to open title and escrow, or do you want to do it? Because I can do it. I do it up for all my other transactions. See, I just cut you. I didn't even let you answer. I asked you the question, and then I told you I volunteered myself to do it. And 99.9% of the time, they're gonna be like, yeah, you can do it then.
Oh, okay.
And
I just
then
handle all that. Okay.
yeah, and then what I would do is just hold on to their purchase and sale agreement until you have an assignment contract signed. Then turn all that shit and open title and escrow all in one shot.
Oh, okay.
That's just what I would do. If you want to turn it in and open title and escrow as soon as you get the purchase agreement signed, go for it. But if you don't find a buyer, then that's an awkward conversation that you, hey, can you close this? I couldn't find a buyer. We're canceling the deal. So it's up to you.
Okay, got you. All right, cool. And then also another question, sorry. How would you go about, let's say you found a buyer with a real estate agent involved and the buyer wants to inspect the property within the inspection contingencies period. And obviously the realtor has to go with the buyer to show them the house, whatever, to inspect it. How does that, do I have to go? I mean, this property is local to me. Do I have to go in, or like, would they discuss price? Like, what do you have to watch out for?
That's a good question. That depends on the kind of real estate agent you're dealing with. So if you're getting ultimately your situation is unique because you're local to the market that you're working. Most people are virtual wholesaling, so going to the property is not an option. They have to just deal with it.
Right.
Again, if the buyer and the real estate agent understand that you're wholesaling the deal and you've got it under contract, you can just send the buyer. All you got to do is go, hey, my buyer wants to take a look at the property and wants to walk it. You want to give me a lockbox code, or you want to meet them down there?
Okay.
Hopefully, they just give you the lockbox code. That's ideal because then nobody's talking to them. But if they want to meet them down there, there's even if you are local, what if you can't make it? So
yeah,
that's
true.
why you got to get into the habit of making good relationship partnerships. And could you get screwed over? Yeah, you could. You absolutely could. It's possible, but if there's nothing you can do about that. Now the only thing you learn from that is, okay, can't work with that buyer, can't work with that real estate agent ever again.
Okay. Yeah, the buyer I have in mind is a local buyer and a wholesaler, and which is a friend of mine. So he wholesales too, so he understands I'm wholesaling as well. So I feel like it shouldn't be a problem, but I'm just worried about like other buyers that get involved like in the future and stuff like that.
Yeah, sometimes another buyer will. I had a buyer snake my deal like 2-3 weeks ago, and it happens. And if you're working now, the real estate agent can say, well, no, we can't do that because I'm already in a contract with Jay. So, if you want the property, yeah, I mean, we're ready to move forward, but I'm already in contract with Jay, and you're here because of Jay. Hopefully your real estate agent says that if your buyer tries some tricky shit, and vice versa. Hopefully if your realtor tries some tricky shit, your buyer's like, well, I get it, but I work with Jay and I'm okay with the price. I just want to make sure the property's good. That's where building good relationships comes in. And again, you can only do so much.
Okay. So that's why kind of better doing off market when it comes to stuff like that, in a sense, because they can just kind of view the property on their own.
I mean, no, because the one that was 3 weeks ago, it wasn't between a realtor and a buyer. It was between the homeowner and the buyer. It was an off market deal.
Yeah, that was another thing too. The off market ones like, oh, you're buying my house for this much, and you're like, what? The
Yeah, I
buyer's
mean,
kinda- yeah,
again, that's why I tell people that you're a wholesaler,
yeah,
because then they understand. Because you can ask them, you can literally say, hey, here's the thing. If it's off market, you can say, here's the thing, Mr. and Mrs. Seller. Do you know what wholesaling is? If they don't know, that's perfect, because then you can frame everything. Okay, so what does a real estate agent do? Real estate agent puts your house under contract. They have you sign 60, 90 days. They try and sell your property. They take pictures. They do flyers. They do email marketing. They reach out to all their investors and they say, hey, I've got this property. Come take a look. You've got open houses. And then hopefully someone puts it in offer. I do the exact same thing. The only difference is I don't charge you a dime. I charge my buyers. And I'm not putting you under contract for 60 or 90 days. I'm putting you under contract for 2 weeks. If I find a buyer, awesome. Let's move forward. I'm going to get you your money. If I don't, you know what? It was just 2 weeks and we'll give it our best shot. And I'll let you know the feedback on why they didn't want to buy it. If you want to adjust our offer at that point, then we can do that. If you want to just take that information and move on to somebody else, at least you'll have it.
okay.
That's
yeah,
how
like
I do
that
it.
answer.
That's literally almost verbatim what I say every single time I'm explaining that I'm a wholesaler.
Yeah, I like the way you explained that. I'm gonna use that.
Steal it.
Oh yeah, awesome, man. You've answered a lot of my questions. I appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem. Anybody else have any questions? Justin, did you ever get your mic to work? I saw you just went off mute, but I can't hear you if you're talking. That's weird, man. I don't know if you can type fast. You can put it in the chat and I'll answer it. I can't type for shit. I'm old. All right, so let's finish going through this deal. No, don't got anything. Just watching. Okay, cool. Just checking. All right, so this one's good. This one's good. This is I have this deal. Fantastic. Oh, and that thing that I said earlier. Make sure that make sure you're sticking to properties 250, 275,000 or less if you're going to go creative. This is on or off market. I know some people say 350, some people say 300. If you're new and you're trying to get a deal moved quickly, the cheaper the property, the better. And here's why. Because the real estate agent or the buyer, or the seller are going to ask for a balloon most of the time. So if you know they're going to ask for it, you know that the lower the purchase price, the shorter the balloon. One of the worst things you could do is do all this negotiating and you're talking to buyers, you're talking to sellers, you're talking to realtors. You finally get someone to accept the terms and then they say, oh yeah, we're good with everything. We're ready to close, but we want a 5-year balloon. And that's just way too short because you went after a $500,000 property. Now, if it was a $200,000 property, 5-year balloon is generous. Shit, you can do 3. So if you already know they're going to ask for a balloon, target properties where that short, because nobody's going to want a long balloon. Nobody's going to want a long term. They're going to want as short as they can get it. So go for properties where you can already give them a short balloon. And then make sure you're keeping that in mind if it's off market with how much money you're adding to the purchase price. You want to make sure it fits. You want to make sure it's a decent number and you want to make sure you have wiggle room, but don't go $50,000 over. Like that's too much. All right, cool. Well, that's all I've got for you guys. If you guys have any questions, I'll be in the Discord, I don't know, next 4 or 5 hours. So you guys can hit me up in there. Otherwise, you guys have a great night and I will talk to you later.